But before we get into everything, can we just have another round of applause for We all got to go on a group car ride together to listen to your album, which as Los Angelinos, we can all agree that that's one of the best ways to listen to a new album, so thank you for that.
Thank you for coming with me.
Yeah! Thank you.
I speak for the whole room, I'm sure, when I say congrats on releasing Dark, getting it out to the world on this weekend. I know that this album has been a journey for you, both making it, I'm sure, and also sharing it with the world. So how are you feeling today?
Ooh. kind of nervous, low-key. It's been, 3 days, 4 days since the album came out, and this is kind of the first time I'm seeing it, feeling other people's reactions to it. Usually that's tour, and then that has its own kind of bucket of nerves, but yeah, it was weird sneaking back in the back of the theater and then watching that visual, and I guess you guys were cheering at certain moments, and then, I don't know, it's a big question mark, so I feel kind of weird. It's always so fun to do, and yeah, I don't know, once the album's out, it's not really yours anymore, so that's always a weird feeling as well. So it's I don't know, I'm just very thankful for all of you coming out, and grateful to be able to do anything that is like this at all. So grateful as well. Yeah.
Definitely. I was sitting next to someone who was singing along, so I'm sure the whole room was really excited to experience it together. It sounded great. I love hearing that you mentioned the part about, making the music is one thing and then sharing it with the world kind of turns into a whole different thing. I always like asking an artist, what an album's meaning means to them. I know you posted something and wrote a little something on Instagram kind of talking about that. I remember reading kind of a manifesto of love and hearing a little bit about your own experience of the low lows and feeling reborn again. Can you talk a little bit about that experience and how you kind of feel seeing the music out here now?
I guess on top of what I said before, the main feeling I have is just relief, to be honest. It's been like you said, it's been a really long journey. Where the music, I guess, came from is so broad for me. There's a lot of changes that happened, over my life when I was making the music. So certain songs are referencing things that are so separate from other parts of the album, but the whole thing, the word dark, even as an album title, I'd had since maybe 2021. And it's just a word that was kind of banded around. I'm sure a lot of you can relate. My friends were just in response to, I don't know, a meme or someone's joke or some news or whatever. It's just, oh, that's dark. And it became this funny thing and changed, I don't know, through so much use of it in different ways. It's almost it's more than a coping mechanism. It's kind of almost like a letting go of, if some crazy shit happens to you and your response is just, oh, that's dark, and you move on. That's actually a very mature way to deal with the world. You can't change everything. You can't control what happens to you. So that's kind of where the album came from. I guess is a meme group I was in with my friends. We were just and yeah, just how that kind of is reflected in my life. This music is literally just my life. So yeah, grateful to be able to do this and share it with everyone.
All things lead back to memes in the end.
It's true.
Hearing you say that you had the album name since 2021 makes me curious to know, when did this body of work start for you? When did the music start for you?
I made the final track, Quantum, I think was the first thing I made. That was towards the end of 2022. And I think it's funny, I think I made Quantum and Still. So the opener and the closer were the first two things I made for this project. And I think that both of those were the end of 2022.
Do you go into it knowing that it's the album, hearing that you had the opener and the closer is an interesting
Kind of.
beginning?
Yeah, I feel like I'm making things like knowing, okay, I have this word that's stuck in my head and is gonna, and kind of encapsulates like a moment of life or like some kind of movement in my life that I feel like is really right, and I know generally how I want the music to feel then. But I could have, like, I definitely made something before I made Quantum with the idea of, oh yeah, I should be working on this. This is like a fun idea that makes me feel good, and like they didn't make it. So, you know, I think everything, it's a weird balance. I try and make things just to make things and not think of like a bigger picture, because sometimes that can add too much pressure. You know, if everything you produce as an artist has to be like really good or fit into a certain box or into a certain idea or I guess preconceived like parameters of the album, then I don't know, it can kind of stagnate you and you can kind of be too scared to make anything at all. So I definitely tried to make stuff that is just to make the song. Like I just made Quantum because I had an idea and I wanted to make the song, and it wasn't like, okay, I'm gonna start with the last track of the album and it's gotta hit this note, hit this note, hit this note, and do these things. But then once you get into the thick of it, it's kind of like, oh, it'd be sick if there was a song that kind of like bridged this moment to that moment. Yeah, so I guess it's a bit of both, maybe.
Both, yeah. I'm sure there's lots of folks out here who have questions as well. So if anyone has a question now, oh, we've got many hands. Okay, I don't think we have additional mics, so you're just gonna have to project. But we'll start right here, front and center.
You mentioned that there were songs that didn't make it to the album, and I know Friday Night Song was a song that you came out with that I'm guessing didn't make it to the album. Was there any more that come to mind, and will we ever have a chance to hear them?
Law.
I don't know. I guess we'll see. There were a few probably songs. I mean, Friday Night Song was on the album, and then it subsequently, like I guess I restructured a few things in the album, and this is the version that I felt was the strongest. I don't know if there will be an opportunity to kind of get the things that didn't make the cut into the world. I mean, in some sense they didn't make the cut, so like why would I want that? Like, you know, like I didn't feel like they fit or were good enough, so why would I release them? But in another sense, like it's kind of nice to show a bit more of the like expanded, like the like what you're saying. I guess the ideas that didn't quite make it could still be like worthwhile in a certain sense. So I don't know, no plans at the moment, but maybe.
Thank you.
You never know. Okay, we're gonna jump to the back with the person waving. That's you, yes.
Okay. What's like your favorite song like you've ever made? Like favorite of all time?
I know that's a hard question. I don't think music.
I guess every time I'm asked that question, the answer is something that I'm currently working on. And it isn't even close to being finished or released. So maybe you'll hear it next year or the year after, who knows?
Okay, we'll go over here to you. Yes.
Why'd you choose the GTR?
That was actually a last minute thing. We went through about 10 different car options for the video. Initially it was an RX-7, we had an R32, and then all like the owners of these cars would like find an issue with the car and like we can't risk it breaking down in the middle of nowhere doing this shoot, and but we ended up with this just like boys like Need for Speed dream of R34, and that's like a bucket list car. It was amazing to drive it around for a day and a night and another day. Yeah, so it was good.
It's quite the long drive. Okay, we'll go over here. You.
Oh, I'd like to hear a little bit about the location scouting for also kind of the significance about why you chose that area. It kind of seems like it's a similar area in the album cover, so I just love to hear about that connection for you.
Not actually even the same country as the album cover, but I appreciate it. It's England and Ireland, so it's kind of, they're pretty similar in that sense, I suppose. But this was shot in Ireland. The album cover is in England. The location scouting for this was, when I was a teenager and I first got my driver's license, I would drive up there just to kind of get out of the city. There was like 2 spots that I used to go to escape the city and I guess clear my head, or me and my friends would go there and watch the sunset or some shit. And this was one of them. So the Vertigo visualizer I shot there, except on foot, walking around. And I don't know, something felt really right about going back there this time in a car that's, worth someone's house probably. I can't really be able to drive that, so. The significance of it is it's just such a meaningful place for me growing up, and it's just so special. I don't know if I've ever been somewhere that looks or feels like that. So
I thought it was California, so that's
no
crazy.
way.
Yeah.
But we were driving on the left.
Until that, I thought you were gonna crash until that.
Yeah, I heard a few people laugh when the first car comes. I heard a few nervous laughs.
Okay, cool. We'll jump to you right here in the front.
First of all, congrats on releasing the album. I know in the past you've said that you kind of, when you make music, you kind of just make that shit for yourself. And now it's in the world. I was wondering what you thought about, as an artist and as a creative, what your view on parasocial relationships are, and that, relationship you have with your fans, and does it hinder your process? Does it help your process? Do you completely disregard it? I know as an artist, it's gotta be difficult to kind of manage.
I feel like I'm pretty fortunate. I've had, as Eden, a career that is over a decade old now, which is such a rare thing to be able to say at all. So that over all of those years, I've met so many fans, if it's at a show or stuff like this or whatever, and everyone has been really respectful and chill for a decade, which is such a blessing, because there's some people who can't really go to the grocery store or whatever. They get mobbed or they get kind of cornered, and it's intense. So the parasocial relationship thing, I don't know if it helps or hinders. I mean, there's a number of people that I now recognize because they've come to so many shows, so many meet and greets, whatever. But that's actually sweet. It's kind of a relief, to look into a room, if I'm in the middle of, if I'm in Nashville or some shit, I can actually recognize someone. So maybe it's a help, maybe it's a positive thing, but I don't know if every artist could tell you that. So, well, thank you to you guys, I suppose.
Okay, we're gonna jump all the way to the back there. Yes.
I know you've been touring for, so many years at this point, you feel like a veteran. I feel like I'm a veteran from all the shows that I've been to. I know that you've had to switch up in teams and people around you, but for things that stay the same, is there anything in this upcoming tour that you feel like you're really excited to bring back? Because I know the last tour you had really cool visuals and lights, also sort of the costume and the camera that you had. There's a lot of cool effects and stage design that you have. Is there anything that you're really excited to bring back for
That's an interesting question, because I feel like the way the shows have been, since 2016 till now, have all kind of, I guess, followed on from each other. So 2016 we did a particular type of production and show, and then 2018 for Vertigo was brought to another place, and then I feel like each time has been kind of another step down the road. So I don't know. This is gonna be maybe one of the more drastic changes. It's a tour. It's like a show idea I've had for maybe 2 years, and I'm so excited to kind of see it come to life. I guess some of the production stuff we'll be doing will be similar to In Case You Missed It tour, and some of it hopefully will feel like kind of brand new. And in that space, like something I really love is I see ideas that I've done like pop up in other people's shows, and that makes me feel really nice actually, to feel like, okay, we've like had an idea and like gone for something that no one really does, and now other people are copying it. Is like kind of like imitation is the highest form of flattery kind of thing. So I don't know, I'm really excited for the tour. I think it's going to be the most fun show I've ever done. I actually haven't been this excited to do the tour, I think, my whole career. So
Okay, we're gonna jump over here in the front.
Growing up and listening to all your stuff from the NCS EDM days, and also growing up with JDM backtracking, and as somebody that's owned imports, how were you a fan growing up, or if you just became a fan of JDM cars?
I think, you know, it's probably video games. It's like Need for Speed. It's the Fast and Furious, like
Yeah.
Tokyo Drift movie, or Too Fast, Too Furious, or whatever. Gran Turismo on PlayStation 1. Like, I don't know. I don't really know where it clicked, but it's just always something I really loved. And then when I got my license, and I mean, I learned to drive in my mom's, like, what do you call it here? A wagon, you know, when the car is like just looks long.
Yeah.
And I just like loved it. Like, I love driving. Probably more than I like the cars themselves. Like, you can put me in like a piece of shit and I'll still really love driving.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's so I don't know, there's something about it that just is so freeing. So yeah, I don't know, probably video games and shit, I suppose.
Okay, we're gonna go over here.
So for the album cover, what made you go like, burning car? That's the album cover.
That I don't know. Some album covers are like just images that I take. That one wasn't actually taken by me, but I stole. Yeah, like the Vertigo album cover I took to waste film on my way to drop off the film, like the film to get developed. I had like maybe 5 shots left, so I just started taking pictures of like random shit on my walk to, I was still living in New York, on my walk to the like camera store or whatever. And one of those random photos, like when I got the film back, I was like, whoa, and it just strikes you. And this album art, me and my partner with Between Friends Frame, we were taking a road trip and we passed a burning car on the side of a road, and she took a picture out the window as we went by, and I don't know, something about it was just like, it just was like jumping out of the phone at me. So yeah, just, I don't know, it's like, just felt really right. It wasn't thought about at all.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna go directly in the middle there. Yes.
Okay. First of all, it's so cool to see you. And what made you?
Such a genuine reaction. I love that.
What made you think of like a car ride, like a road trip for the visualizers of all the songs? Also, can you make a CD of the album?
I'm not sure what made me think of it. There was so the original idea, I guess not the original, the idea was to drive on the same stretch of road over and over and over and over and over again, but just throughout the day, so the light would change, but the road would always stay the same. in the same sense of that. Is it Sisyphus or whatever, the Greek myth of the guy who rolls the boulder up the hill for eternity, and then it rolls back down and he just has to do it again. So that was kind of the idea. It's like this beautiful place. The moral of that Greek story is that he has to at some point become happy with rolling this fucking boulder up the hill, because there will never be anything else that he gets to do. So at some point he has to like eventually come to terms with that and just enjoy it and enjoy the process.
I think one could say that is dark, by the way.
Yeah, it was just this idea of kind of this like limbo, if you want a 2025 word, liminal space that is kind of beautiful, but then is almost like a cage. But you're still moving and going through it, and it's a beautiful part of the world. And as I said, it just means so much to me before. So, yeah, that's a long-winded, kind of confusing answer. But there you go.
Oh no, I like that.
Okay, we're gonna go over to you.
Hi, I'm a big fan. Been coming since like 2016. The show.
Thank you.
Yeah. My question's about the song "Team." It was kind of a standout for me. I was wondering sort of what was your inspiration? How was the process of working on that one? Because I've been bumping it like nonstop.
I mean, that song is just about being horny. Yeah, I don't know. I've been playing in time. I can't remember where it came from. If it was like I was making the beat first, or I think I was definitely making the beat first, and it just felt like this that pre-chorus just felt like this really cathartic thing to be able to say in like a really big way. Yeah, I guess that's it. That's all I have to say.
Okay, we'll jump to you over there. Yes.
I'm a director. You're easily my number one artist that I want to work with. So just want to throw that out there. My question is, you use a lot of seemingly random audio recordings on a lot of your work, and especially on this one, is there any that you can share some of the backstory from, or just kind of your process of using those recordings?
That is also kind of, everyone kind of has its own backstory and why it's included and where it's included. Some of them are incredibly personal and are like, you know, when you're trying to film something, you might catch someone say something in the background. Like some of the recordings on this album are that, and some of them are voice notes that I've sent to people or people have sent to me, or random shit from the internet as well. Was there one in particular you were curious about?
The barbecue one.
The barbecue. Oh yeah, that was a friend of mine who I hadn't seen in a long time. You know, when you randomly get someone just like a year since you've seen them pop up, you're like, hey, what's going on? And like they just sent like, oh well, it was like, yeah, I'm good, how are you? And they just sent this voice note about their birthday, and I thought it was so sweet. And then just I laughed till I cried. Part of it it's just for that song, like I was making the song and I was like, wait, I swear someone like sent me this thing that like, and I like went through WhatsApp and I like finally found it, and it just felt so right. It's such a weirdly, like that sentence is so important for that whole song, but the whole project as well.
We do a time check. Are we good on time? Maybe a couple more questions? Good. Okay, cool. We'll go to white shirt over here on this side. Yeah.
Hi, John. Congrats on the new album. It's absolutely beautiful. I guess my question for you is, you first teased the album with the billboard in at Dow Records in Shibuya, and I just wanted to know why you chose that location to promote it.
We were originally going to do a lot more of the album promo, like out in Japan. So that was kind of the reason, and we wanted to have this kind of everywhere kind of feeling for the promo. So we wanted to have like pop-ups and like the billboards happening in Japan, and then the pop-ups in London, and then there's this here, and unfortunately the way everything kind of fell apart last year, like so did that idea, or at least the Japan side of it. You know, to get out of the deal before, we had to pay off the old record label, and so that kind of like screwed a lot of our budgets. So we then just couldn't afford to be doing shit like literally the other side of the world. So yeah, it was like something we were just trying to build out, and you know, as everything changed, we had to kind of divert and start doing other stuff.
Okay, we're gonna go to you in the middle.
Okay, so you know how like when you listen to an album, you can usually tell like what the sonic inspirations are, like in terms of like just how it sounds. I find like with In Case You Missed It, I could, but with this one I can't really tell, so I'm basically just asking what you into.
That's a good question. It's funny that In Case You Missed It was clearer than this. I feel like they're both equally kind of left field.
Well, I feel like In Case You Missed It was a little more, at least it felt more back to roots than this one did, if that makes sense, in terms of just like more being more electronic than anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's been so interesting seeing everyone's reaction to this project since Friday, because I feel like overwhelmingly, I'm really grateful for this. It's been very positive, and I was just saying to my managers before this, that's maybe the first time in my career that's happened. And like a lot of people with rose-tinted glasses, like will think of previous projects and be like, why isn't this one like that one? But like when that one came out, everyone was like, what the fuck is this? And like the most obvious example would be like Vertigo, which is like people tend to say is like their favorite and like benchmark thing that I've done. When that album came out, like most of the comments were like, what the fuck? And like over time, it's become this thing that people love, and I'm so grateful because a lot of my fans, and maybe it's people in this room, like will not like just throw it away. So they'll like be like, oh, I didn't really like it. That wasn't what I was expecting, or didn't really like it. And then I also see so many people like being like, oh, I didn't like that at first, but now it's my favorite project. So the response has been really interesting, and I would think that this project is more like my roots than In Case You Missed It, and you think the opposite, and that's totally fine. But like this project for me, I guess, what do I listen to? I listen to a lot of, I guess, experimental music, to be honest. I don't really listen to like playlists and stuff. I'm very much an album listener. So like big inspirations for this project would be, I don't know. I mean, there's everything from like kind of contemporary electronic hip hop stuff like Cash Cobain or whatever to like slowcore stuff. Like Pocket is obviously such a slowcore, like Duster, Sign Push Motors type track. Quantum is like a shoegaze song, like My Bloody Valentine, like whatever. So much like Latin music, like there's so much Brazil in this album, and that's just because of, I guess, the way the whole landscape has moved, and it definitely feels like they live in the future, to be honest, and they're blessing us from 30-25 with music. Yeah, I mean, like I was loving Playboi Carti's stuff. That's probably, I feel like, the most, even though he's such a counterculture person, that's probably the most mainstream person I really love. McGee and DeJohn's project, super I don't know, I could probably keep listening and listening and listening. I'm gonna try and keep making playlists and posting them on like Instagram and stuff, and you'll start to see probably songs where it's like, oh, that's where that moment from this part of the album like is kind of like inspired from, maybe.
Okay, I think we have time for one more question. So who's a really good one for me? You seem like you're confident you have a good one in the gray, white.
Yeah. So I guess this may be a good one to end on. Hopefully it's not too big of a question. But what was your favorite part of like the whole album, or like your favorite? What were some favorite moments, or like basically what do you look back on and think that I love making that part of that, or I love doing this for the album? What you got?
I mean, all of it, and that's not a cop out, avoid the question type thing, but like for almost every song, I could give you something that was like really, I guess, amazing for me to be able to do, or like in a really important or cathartic moment. Like some of this music I made on a tour bus, and I'd never done that before, and that was like really freeing, because I was like, oh, I already worked today. I did a show and I came back on the bus and I went to my little room on the bus. And I'm like, none of this has to be good. I'm just gonna make sounds on my laptop and it could be fucking awful. And some of it was really good, some of it was okay and was on the album and didn't make the album. Ghost in the Shell I made on the tour bus. Pocket I made in a hotel room on an off day on tour. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to think of a singular thing that was my favorite. Fuck, I don't know.
Maybe it's yet to come.
Yeah.
You're going on tour soon, so who
Yeah,
knows, there's
true.
more to come. Well, I think we're out of time, but thank you all for coming. Congratulations again.
Thank you guys.